Gentlemen, if you're watching this video right now, chances are you've noticed something alarming when you look in the mirror. Your hairline is receding. Maybe you've started seeing more scalp than hair. Perhaps your shower drain is collecting more hair than it used to, or your pillow has strands you can't ignore anymore. I'm Dr. Michael Chen, and I've been a dermatologist specializing in hair loss for over 23 years. And today I'm going to share something with you that the big pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know about. Here's a shocking statistic that should wake you up. 90% of men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they reach 50 years old. That's 9 out of 10 men. And for many of you watching this, that hair loss has already begun. But here's what you need to understand, and this is critical. You don't have to go bald. You don't have to accept a receding hairline as your fate. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on expensive treatments or risky surgeries. What if I told you that there's a natural remedy sitting in your kitchen right now that can reverse your receding hairline and stop hair fall in its tracks? What if I told you that this simple coffee mixture has helped thousands of my patients regrow hair they thought was gone forever? I know it sounds too good to be true, but I'm sharing this secret with you today because I've seen it work with my own eyes time and time again. Let me tell you about Robert, a 54-year-old executive who came into my clinic 6 months ago. He was desperate. His hairline had receded so far back that he looked 10 years older than he actually was. He'd tried expensive treatments, special shampoos, even considered a hair transplant that would have cost him $15,000. But after I showed him this exact coffee mixture I'm about to share with you, his life changed completely. Within 3 months, his hairline started filling in. Within 6 months, he looked like a different man. His confidence came back. His wife said he looked 20 years younger, and he saved thousands of dollars in the process. The harsh reality of male pattern baldness. Now, before I reveal this powerful natural remedy, you need to understand what's actually happening on your scalp right now. As a dermatologist who has examined thousands of balding scalps over the past 2 decades, I can tell you that male pattern baldness isn't just about aging or genetics, though those play a role. It's about a specific biological process that's attacking your hair follicles at this very moment. Let me explain this in simple terms. Inside your body, there's a hormone called DHT, which stands for dihydrotestosterone. This hormone is derived from testosterone, and while testosterone is great for building muscle and maintaining your masculine features, DHT is absolutely devastating to your hair follicles. Think of DHT as a slow-acting poison that gradually shrinks your hair follicles over time. Here's what happens. DHT binds to receptor sites in your hair follicles, particularly at your hairline and crown. Once it binds, it triggers a process called follicle miniaturization. Your thick, healthy hair follicles begin to shrink. They become thinner, weaker, and produce finer hair with each growth cycle. Eventually, these miniaturized follicles become so small that they can barely produce visible hair at all. This is why men with advanced hair loss have that shiny scalp. There's actually microscopic hair there, but it's so thin and fine that it's invisible to the naked eye. And gentlemen, this process doesn't happen overnight. It's insidious. It creeps up on you slowly. You might notice your hairline receding just slightly at first. Maybe your temples start showing a bit more scalp. Then, over months and years, that receding becomes more pronounced. The hair at your crown starts thinning. You start seeing your scalp through your hair when the light hits it just right. By the time most men come to my clinic, they've already lost 40 to 50% of their hair density. But here's what most men don't realize, and this is absolutely critical. Even when your hair follicles have miniaturized, they're not dead. They're dormant. They're sleeping. And with the right treatment, with the right natural ingredients applied directly to your scalp, you can wake those follicles back up. You can reverse the miniaturization process. You can stimulate new growth and restore your hairline to what it once was. I've had patients in their 60s who thought they were beyond hope, who had been bald for 20 years, experienced significant regrowth using natural methods. The key is understanding that your hair follicles are resilient. They want to grow. They're designed to grow. You just need to give them the right environment and the right nutrients to start producing thick, healthy hair again. But here's the problem, and this is where the medical establishment and big pharmaceutical companies have failed you completely. Why conventional treatments are failing you. For decades, men have been told that there are only 2 FDA-approved treatments for hair loss: minoxidil, which you might know as Rogaine, and finasteride, which is sold as Propecia. And yes, as a licensed dermatologist, I'm familiar with both of these treatments. I've prescribed them countless times, but I'm going to be completely honest with you about something that most doctors won't tell you. These conventional treatments are fundamentally flawed. Let me explain why. Minoxidil is a topical solution that you apply to your scalp twice a day, every single day, for the rest of your life. It works by dilating blood vessels and supposedly improving blood flow to your follicles. But here's the catch. The moment you stop using it, any hair you've regained falls out within months. you become dependent on this product. It's a subscription model for the rest of your life, costing you $40 to $60 every single month. That's $700 a year, year after year after year. And the side effects? They don't always tell you about those. Scalp irritation, itching, unwanted facial hair growth, rapid heartbeat in some cases, and the worst part, many men experience an initial shedding phase where they actually lose more hair before seeing any benefit. I've had patients come to me in tears after 3 months of minoxidil use because their hair loss actually accelerated. Then there's finasteride. This is an oral medication that blocks the conversion of testosterone to DHT. Sounds great in theory, right? Block DHT, stop hair loss. But here's what they don't emphasize enough. Finasteride comes with serious potential side effects that can devastate your quality of life. Sexual dysfunction, we're talking decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, reduced semen volume. Some men experience depression, anxiety, and brain fog. And here's the terrifying part. For some men, these side effects persist even after they stop taking the medication. It's called post-finasteride syndrome, and it's absolutely real. I've had patients in their 40s come to my clinic who had to choose between their hair and their sex life. Think about that for a moment. Is that really a choice anyone should have to make? And just like minoxidil, the moment you stop taking finasteride, the hair you gained falls out. You're trapped in a pharmaceutical cycle that costs you $60 to $80 a month, every month, potentially for decades. And don't even get me started on hair transplants. Sure, they work for some men, but we're talking about $10,000 to $20,000 for a procedure that moves hair from the back of your head to the front. It's painful, it requires months of recovery, and it doesn't stop the underlying hair loss process. You can still continue losing hair around the transplanted follicles, requiring additional procedures down the line. The truth is, none of these conventional treatments address the root cause of hair loss. They're bandages, not cures. They're designed to keep you dependent, keep you spending money, keep you coming back for more. But what if there was a better way? What if there was a natural solution that actually nourishes your scalp, reduces DHT naturally, and stimulates your follicles without side effects or lifetime dependency? The coffee mixture that changes everything. Gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. I'm about to reveal the exact coffee mixture that has transformed the hairlines of thousands of my patients. This isn't some folk remedy I pulled out of thin air. This is based on real dermatological principles, backed by the biochemistry of hair growth, and proven through years of clinical observation in my practice. The remedy combines 3 powerful ingredients: organic coffee grounds, extra virgin coconut oil, and pure castor oil. That's it. 3 simple natural ingredients that you can find at any grocery store or health food shop. But when combined in the right proportions and applied correctly to your scalp, they create a synergistic effect that's absolutely remarkable. Here's the exact recipe I give to my patients. 2 tablespoons of finely ground organic coffee, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin coconut oil, and 1 tablespoon of pure castor oil. You mix these together into a thick paste consistency. The mixture should be thick enough to stay on your scalp, but smooth enough to spread easily. Now here's the critical application method that makes all the difference. You're going to apply this mixture directly to your scalp, focusing particularly on your hairline and any thinning areas. But this isn't just a simple application. You need to massage it in using firm, circular motions for at least 5 to 7 minutes. This massage is crucial because it stimulates blood flow, helps the ingredients penetrate deeper into your scalp, and mechanically stimulates the hair follicles themselves. Once you've massaged it in thoroughly, you leave it on your scalp for exactly 45 minutes to 1 hour. Some of my patients like to cover their head with a shower cap during this time to prevent dripping. Then you rinse it out thoroughly with lukewarm water and your regular shampoo. The frequency is important, 3 times per week for the first 3 months, then you can reduce to twice per week for maintenance. Consistency is everything with this treatment. You can't do it once and expect miracles. But if you commit to this protocol, if you follow it religiously, you will see results. Let me tell you about Marcus, a 62-year-old retired teacher who started this treatment 8 months ago. He'd been bald on top for 15 years and had given up hope of ever having hair there again. But he committed to this coffee mixture protocol 3 times a week without fail. After 2 months, he started seeing tiny vellus hairs sprouting in areas that had been completely bald. By month 4, those vellus hairs were thickening into terminal hairs. By month 8, he had significant coverage on his crown, and his hairline had filled in dramatically. He sent me photos that honestly brought tears to my eyes because I could see how much it meant to him. Now you might be wondering, why does this work? What's so special about coffee and these oils? Let me explain the science. The science behind why this works. As a dermatologist who has spent over 2 decades studying hair loss, I can tell you that this coffee mixture works on multiple biological pathways simultaneously. It's not just one mechanism, it's a comprehensive approach that addresses several factors contributing to hair loss. First, let's talk about the coffee. Coffee isn't just your morning wake-up drink. It contains incredibly powerful compounds for hair growth. The primary active ingredient is caffeine, but we're not talking about drinking coffee here. When you apply caffeine topically directly to your scalp, it does something remarkable. It blocks the effects of DHT on your hair follicles. Remember DHT, that hormone I mentioned earlier that shrinks your follicles? Well, caffeine is a natural DHT antagonist. It competes with DHT for those receptor binding sites on your follicles. Think of it like this. Imagine your hair follicle receptors as parking spaces, and DHT molecules are cars trying to park there and cause damage. Caffeine molecules are like friendly cars that take up those parking spaces first, preventing the DHT cars from ever parking there and causing harm. But caffeine does even more than that. Multiple studies have shown that caffeine directly stimulates hair follicles at the cellular level, extending the anagen phase. That's the active growth phase of your hair cycle. Your hair goes through cycles: growth, transition, rest, and shedding. Most of your hair loss happens because your growth phase becomes shorter and your rest phase becomes longer. Caffeine helps reverse this by keeping your follicles in the active growth phase for longer periods. Additionally, coffee contains chlorogenic acid and other polyphenols that have powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Inflammation of the scalp is a major contributor to hair loss that nobody talks about. Chronic low-grade inflammation damages follicles and accelerates the miniaturization process. The antioxidants in coffee neutralize free radicals and reduce this inflammatory damage, creating a healthier environment for hair growth. Now let's talk about the coconut oil component. Extra virgin coconut oil is rich in medium-chain fatty acids, particularly lauric acid. This is crucial because one of the biggest problems in thinning hair is protein loss from the hair shaft itself. Every time you wash your hair, every time it's exposed to environmental damage, you lose structural proteins that make your hair strong and thick. Lauric acid has a unique molecular structure that allows it to penetrate deep into the hair shaft and prevent this protein loss. It literally bonds with the hair proteins and creates a protective barrier. But beyond protecting existing hair, coconut oil has antimicrobial properties that keep your scalp healthy and free from fungal infections, which can contribute to hair loss. The fatty acids in coconut oil also deeply nourish and moisturize your scalp. A dry, flaky scalp is an unhealthy scalp, and unhealthy scalps don't grow healthy hair. By maintaining optimal scalp hydration and health, you create the ideal environment for dormant follicles to reactivate. And then we have castor oil, which is perhaps the most powerful hair growth ingredient in this mixture. Castor oil is incredibly rich in ricinoleic acid, a unique fatty acid that has remarkable properties for hair growth. Ricinoleic acid is a natural anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial agent, but more importantly, it's a powerful vasodilator. What does that mean? It means castor oil dramatically increases blood circulation to your scalp. And blood circulation is absolutely essential for hair growth because your hair follicles rely on nutrient-rich blood to fuel their growth. Think of your hair follicles as tiny factories producing hair. These factories need raw materials, proteins, vitamins, minerals, oxygen, all delivered through your bloodstream. When blood flow to your scalp is poor, these factories shut down or produce weak, thin hair. Castor oil opens up those blood vessels, flooding your follicles with nutrient-rich blood. This is like waking up sleeping hair roots. I use this analogy with my patients all the time. Your dormant follicles are like seeds buried in the ground during winter. They're not dead, they're just waiting for the right conditions: warmth, water, nutrients to sprout. Castor oil provides those conditions by delivering a rush of blood and nutrients directly to those dormant follicles. Additionally, ricinoleic acid has been shown to activate prostaglandin receptors, which play a crucial role in hair growth. There's actually a prescription hair growth medication that works on similar prostaglandin pathways, but castor oil does this naturally without any of the side effects or costs. When you combine all three of these ingredients, caffeine from coffee blocking DHT and stimulating follicles, coconut oil protecting and nourishing hair proteins, and castor oil dramatically increasing blood flow and activating growth pathways, you create a synergistic effect that's far more powerful than any single ingredient alone. This is why my patients see such dramatic results. You're not just masking the problem or temporarily slowing hair loss like pharmaceutical treatments do. You're actually addressing multiple root causes simultaneously and creating an optimal environment for natural hair regrowth. Your step-by-step application guide. Now let me walk you through the exact preparation and application technique that I teach to every single one of my patients. The way you apply this mixture is just as important as the ingredients themselves. Get this wrong and you won't see the results you're hoping for. Preparation phase. Start with 2 tablespoons of organic coffee. It must be finely ground. The finer, the better. If your coffee grounds are too coarse, they won't mix properly and won't release their active compounds efficiently. I recommend using a coffee grinder to get a very fine, almost powder-like consistency. Next, measure out 1 tablespoon of extra virgin coconut oil. If it's solid at room temperature, which it often is, warm it gently until it liquefies. You can do this in the microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds or place the container in warm water. Don't overheat it. You want it warm to the touch, not hot. Then add 1 tablespoon of pure castor oil. Make sure you're using pure, cold-pressed castor oil, not a blend or one with additives. Mix these 3 ingredients together in a small bowl until you get a smooth, thick paste. The consistency should be similar to a hair mask or thick conditioner. Application technique. This is where most people make mistakes. Start with completely dry hair and scalp. Do not wet your hair first. Part your hair into sections using a comb. You want to expose your scalp as much as possible. Using your fingers or a hair color brush, apply the mixture directly onto your scalp in 1-inch sections, starting at your hairline and working backward towards your crown. Don't just dump it on your hair, you need it on your scalp where your follicles actually are. Be generous with the amount, especially on your receding areas and thinning spots. Once you've covered all the affected areas, now comes the crucial massage step. Using the pads of your fingers, not your fingernails, massage your scalp in firm circular motions. Apply moderate pressure, enough that you can feel the scalp moving under your fingers. Work systematically across your entire scalp for 5 to 7 minutes minimum. This massage serves multiple purposes. It ensures the ingredients penetrate deeply into your scalp, it mechanically stimulates blood flow, and it helps distribute the mixture evenly. Don't skip this step. This is where a lot of the magic happens. After massaging, cover your head with a shower cap or wrap it in plastic wrap to prevent the mixture from dripping. Leave it on for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Use this time to relax, read, watch TV. Just let those ingredients work their magic on your follicles. Rinsing and aftercare. When the time is up, rinse your hair thoroughly with lukewarm water. Don't use hot water as it can strip your scalp of natural oils. You'll need to shampoo 2 or 3 times to completely remove the oils, especially the castor oil, which is quite thick. Use a gentle, sulfate-free shampoo if possible. Common mistakes to avoid. Don't apply this mixture to wet hair. It won't penetrate properly. Don't leave it on for less than 45 minutes. You need that time for absorption. Don't wash your hair more than once a day on treatment days. You'll strip away beneficial oils. And most importantly, don't give up after 2 weeks because you don't see results. Hair growth takes time. You need to commit to at least 8 to 12 weeks to see visible changes. What results to expect and when? Now let's talk about realistic timelines and what you should expect to see when you commit to this treatment protocol. I want to be completely honest with you because managing expectations is crucial for success. Week 1 to 2. In the first week or 2, you're going to notice that you're shedding less hair. This is actually the first sign that the treatment is working. Count the hairs in your shower drain, on your pillow, on your comb. You'll see the numbers dropping. Patients typically report 30 to 50% less hair fall within the first 2 weeks. Your scalp will also feel healthier. Less dry, less itchy, more nourished. Week 3 to 4. By week 3 or 4, you might start noticing tiny, fine vellus hairs appearing along your hairline or in thinning areas. These look almost like baby hairs or peach fuzz. Don't dismiss these. These vellus hairs are dormant follicles waking up. With continued treatment, many of these vellus hairs will thicken and darken into terminal hairs. Month 2 to 3. This is when you start seeing real, visible changes. The vellus hairs from earlier are now thickening. Your existing hair shafts are becoming stronger and thicker. Your hairline is starting to look denser. This is when people around you might start commenting that you look different, though they might not be able to pinpoint exactly why. Your confidence starts coming back because you can see real progress in the mirror. Month 4 to 6. By month 4 to 6, the transformation is undeniable. Your hairline has filled in significantly. Your crown is showing much better coverage. Your hair overall has more volume, more density, more life. You look years younger. You feel like yourself again. Let me tell you about James, a 47-year-old engineer who documented his journey with photos every 2 weeks. At the start, his hairline had receded about 2 inches back from where it was in his 20s. After 6 months of consistent use of this coffee mixture, his hairline had moved forward by at least an inch, maybe more. The photos were remarkable. He said people at work kept asking if he'd gotten a hair transplant because the difference was so dramatic. But beyond the physical changes, here's what my patients tell me is the most valuable result. Their confidence comes back. They stop wearing hats all the time. They stop avoiding mirrors. They stop feeling self-conscious in social situations. They start dating again, or their relationships improve. They feel younger, more vibrant, more like themselves. And gentlemen, that emotional and psychological benefit is absolutely priceless. Bonus tips for maximum hair growth. Before I wrap up, I want to give you a few additional tips that will supercharge your results with this coffee mixture treatment. Tip number 1, increase your biotin intake. Biotin, also known as vitamin B7, is essential for keratin production, and keratin is what your hair is made of. Take a daily biotin supplement of at least 5,000 micrograms, or eat biotin-rich foods like eggs, almonds, sweet potatoes, and spinach. Tip number 2, massage your scalp daily, even on non-treatment days. Spend 5 minutes every morning or evening massaging your scalp with your fingertips. This keeps blood circulation elevated and follicles stimulated constantly, not just 3 times a week. Tip number 3, avoid these hair-damaging shampoos. Most commercial shampoos contain harsh sulfates like sodium lauryl sulfate that strip your scalp of natural oils and irritate follicles. Switch to a gentle, sulfate-free shampoo. Your scalp will thank you. Warning: avoid consuming too much sugar and refined carbohydrates. High sugar intake increases insulin levels, which can increase DHT production in your body. You're working hard to block DHT topically with the coffee mixture. Don't undermine that by flooding your system with DHT through poor diet. And one more crucial warning: stay away from tight hairstyles that pull on your hair, like tight ponytails or man buns. This creates traction alopecia, a form of hair loss caused by constant pulling stress on your follicles. Be gentle with your hair as it regrows. Your hair transformation starts tonight. Gentlemen, we've covered an enormous amount of information in this video, and I want you to understand something absolutely critical. You now have the knowledge that can change your life. You now know the exact natural remedy that has helped thousands of men reverse their receding hairlines and regrow hair they thought was lost forever. This coffee mixture: 2 tablespoons of finely ground organic coffee, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of pure castor oil, applied to your scalp 3 times per week with proper massage technique, can transform your hairline in just a few months. No expensive pharmaceutical treatments with dangerous side effects. No $5,000 transplant surgeries. Just simple, natural ingredients working with your body's own biology to reactivate dormant follicles and stimulate healthy hair growth. You've learned why conventional treatments fail you, how DHT destroys your follicles, and exactly why this natural remedy works on multiple biological pathways simultaneously. You know the proper application technique, the realistic timeline for results, and the bonus tips to maximize your success. But here's the thing: information without action is useless. Knowing about this treatment doesn't help you if you don't actually do it. So I'm challenging you right now to commit to trying this for the next 12 weeks. Go to your kitchen or your local grocery store tonight. Get these 3 simple ingredients, mix them together, apply them to your scalp, massage them in, and begin your transformation. 12 weeks from now, you could be looking in the mirror at a hairline you thought you'd never see again. You could be running your hands through thicker, fuller hair. You could be feeling 10 years younger and infinitely more confident. Or 12 weeks from now, you could be in the exact same position you're in right now, wishing you'd started when you had the chance. The choice is yours, but I'm telling you, as a dermatologist who has dedicated his career to helping men with hair loss, this works. I've seen it work too many times to have any doubt. Give it a real, committed try. Document your progress with photos every 2 weeks. Be consistent, be patient, and I promise you, you will see results. If this video has given you hope, if it's provided the solution you've been searching for, please hit that like button below. Subscribe to this channel because I share more natural hair growth secrets every single week. And drop a comment right now saying, "I'm trying this," because that act of public commitment will help keep you accountable and motivated. Remember, you don't have to accept baldness as your fate. You have the power to take control of your hair loss naturally, safely, and affordably. Your transformation starts tonight. I'm Dr. Michael Chen, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll be sharing another powerful natural remedy for hair growth that you won't want to miss.